Morgan Freeman is from Mississippi too. And Morgan Freeman actually sounds like
dude, your accents are so do the John Hookerly when he like told you to come in.
Oh yeah, I remember you, yeah, come on in here, yeah, I remember you, yeah.
It's just so key on point.
You know, B.B. King sounds like this. It's almost like Morgan Freeman, but it's a little bit higher up.
All right, so before I show you the rest of the clips, let me just give you the backstory of how I met Demian. Demian knew my dad before I was born, and then when I was born, he was like the first guy to ever take a picture of me. As far as my recollection, I never remembered who he was, never knew who he was, because I was like 1 year old. Then recently he found my YouTube channel, commented on it, and I got to see him. Demian has connections and roots with people like Jimi Hendrix, B.B. King, John Lee Hooker. He has all this history in his mind. He was part of a band. He was in the music universe. He still is. And so in this video, you're getting like a real deal background, like family history type shit for like the blues. He knows it all. And the way he story tells, the way he expresses himself is so interesting, and I hope by sharing this you guys deepen your love for the blues, and especially the Delta blues and people like Robert Johnson, basically these giant figures who are the support for the music that we have today. Like people like Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber. These modern artists are all inspired by the likes of Robert Johnson, B.B. King, John Lee Hooker. They built the foundation for music as we have it today in America. So watch this. Oh, wait. Before, thank you, Demian. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for sharing this with me all so openly, and just being so kind. You feel like an uncle to me. Thank you so much. All right, enjoy.
Okay, so like Muddy Waters had a thing called like a Rolling Stone, and that's where the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, got their name from. Is the Muddy Water song "Like a Rolling Stone." And then you got Bob Dylan, did a song called "Like a Rolling Stone." So this is the Rolling Stone where it goes like...
Bob Dylan was influenced by Muddy Waters then.
Yeah. Okay. All those guys, Muddy Waters and those guys are much older than those guys.
Yeah.
See, so they were the next generation that came in, and so you had the Beatles and the Stones and Hendrix and all that. They were the next generation.
But they were learning and picking this up from Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Exactly.
Wow, they're really the OGs.
So here's one thing by Muddy Waters where he does this little thing.
Okay.
Oh well, I wish I was a catfish. And then he goes singing in a deep blue sea. I'll have all you pretty looking women fishing in after me. Oh well. And so basically that's the kind of the idea of it. Then you get Jimi Hendrix, who does...
He's treating it like a gun.
Like this. Voodoo Child. See? Stand up next to a mountain. See? It's the same thing.
But just different, like a little bit improvised.
Right. And jazzed up.
So who influenced Muddy Waters? Going a layer deeper.
That would be Son House.
Son House.
And Son House, and Charlie Patton.
And Charlie Patton.
Charlie Patton was born in the 1800s, and he was the one that would play with his teeth,
What?
his head,
What?
and all that stuff, and spinning the guitar. And he was a good showman.
Oh.
And Muddy picked up the slide from hearing him and stuff, so he used this like the slide. Now B.B. King, he didn't know how to play slide, so he used that vibrato with his hand.
Oh.
So it sounds like a slide, but it's not quite.
But he just got really good at that.
Right. So Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf learned from those past guys, Robert Johnson, Son House, and Charlie Patton.
So
Because they were before.
how about was Robert Johnson influenced just by like the culture, just like the streets of like music, just what was around
he was
him?
He was like basically coming from the country stuff. A lot of the black musicians came out of blues musicians. They called it Delta blues. They came out of Mississippi, Louisiana. Charlie Patton was from Louisiana. The rest of those guys was from Mississippi. John Lee Hooker was from Mississippi. B.B. King is from Mississippi. Morgan Freeman is from Mississippi too. And Morgan Freeman actually sounds like
Dude, your accents are so do the John Hookerly when he like told you to come in.
Oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah. Come on in here. Yeah. I remember you, yeah.
It's just so key on point.
You know, B.B. King sounds like this. It's almost like Morgan Freeman, but it's a little bit higher up. So that's that Mississippi accent, you might say.
So what was so distinguishing about Robert Johnson's guitar playing?
Robert Johnson, he did slide work too.
He did some sliding, huh?
Yeah. And he had different tunings.
His turnaround.
Yeah, he had those turnarounds and everything. Robert Johnson, he only had like really one album, maybe a double album volume, and that was it. And it didn't have too many recordings on him. But he had a lot of different songs, you know.
Were they all original? Were they all his?
Well, some of them are traditional, what you would call traditional, where you pick up from somebody who picked up from somebody who picked up from somebody. Something like Green Sleeves. Who wrote Green Sleeves? Nobody
I've never
knows.
heard that song, Green Sleeves.
Oh, you gotta listen to it. Green Sleeves. Yeah, it's an old Irish folk tune there.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Irish.
folk tune.
I don't know if it's Irish so much as it's like British. You know, but I keep thinking, you know, well, like country music is definitely from Ireland and Scotland. You know, so and that's where you get, and when you blend that folk music with the blues or field hollers, you have rock and roll, or what we know now is rock and roll.
Wait, step back. When you blend what?
When you blend country and blues together and gospel,
you get rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Because we're dealing with the different things. A lot of people don't know the true history of this country. And the true history of this country is that everybody seems to think there was a bunch of white folks that came over here and they killed off the Indians and then they imported slaves, and that's not the truth. That's not the truth. The truth is you had black folks in Europe, in England, in Scotland, and they were Scottish, they were Irish, and they came over here and they worked the land. Some of them were indentured servants, some of them were the masters. And had created their own plantations and stuff. Then they mixed with the indigenous population, you know, of people that was here already.
So is that in the music? These
It is
stories?
very much in the music, like John Lee Hooker. Okay. Well. That's kind of like the Gnawa. I'll tell you a story. So these little embellishments that come after the story that you're about to tell. This John Lee Hooker, which is actually the Gnawa music of Morocco, which came from the Sudan of Africa.
What?
Yes. So if you listen to the Gnawa music of Morocco, Marrakesh, you will hear the John Lee Hooker.
Or one could say you would hear the Gnawa of Sudan in the John Lee Hooker.
Right. And, with James Brown, too. And John Lee Hooker told me he used to hang out with James Brown.
I have all you good-looking women fishing after me, fishing after me, fishing after me. Oh Lord, sure enough I would.